Hello everyone and welcome to this Assetto Corsa career mode. Obviously there's a new version of Assetto Corsa out, and I mentioned about going through the special events, but I've also thought about just doing the career and giving some tips and advice on the career. Now this is the first sort of, well, what you consider a licensing Gran Turismo. This is the first part of the career, so we're doing a time trial sort of attack. Where you've got to get points to get either a bronze, a silver or a gold. Now we're on a small little track here and it's quite sharp, and we're in the Abarth 500. It's an interesting car. Now I've left the settings on factory. Now to me it feels like there's still some traction control there, so I'm not sure whether it's best to put it on factory or switch it off, but it's on pro settings, and on the pro settings put it at factory. So I'll have to do a bit of research on that, but even so, we're still racing round, and each time you go through a checkpoint, there's one at the start of the lap and there's one during the lap. You'll get an increase in time and you'll have points added on. So at the moment we're just adding small amounts of points, and to get gold it's 1500 points as of filming this. So we're just racing around. Some tips for this really is front wheel drive car, so it's best to stay on a tight line initially around the sharp corners, and then try and loosen the steering very quickly on the exits, because that way the wheels aren't trying to turn as much when you're accelerating, so you can actually get more power down, go a bit faster. But it's always better to stay on a very tight line, just so you can get out the corner really quickly, because this is on factory settings and it feels like the traction control's on. You can't really get any oversteer, so you've really got to make sure you're just straightening out the steering as fast as you can, and going through the corners you want as smooth lines as possible. That way you'll just get the quicker times. You can be aggressive in the corners, so we're just going around to finish the second lap now, and I'll explain that then as we come into this first corner, because it's a very sharp corner. So initially when I started it, you'll see me start pushing more and more and more. I come into here, I start braking around that second to last sign there. I'm using that as a braking point at the moment, and you can see I'm staying quite tight, because I mentioned you should really stay tight for this, but you can actually sort of go a bit deeper on that first corner and you'll still keep a bit of momentum going around the corner. It's these tight corners here you want to stay really tight and just get round as fast as possible. So you'll see me start trying to push it a bit further, a bit further, a bit further each lap. So as you can see now we've made gold quite easily, so now it's just about how many points can we actually get really. Now this is I will say this is my second attempt. The first attempt when I recorded it, I use XSplit at the moment to record, and it did a bit of, started stuttering for some reason, so came back and did it again, which is why I can jump straight into it far better. Now when I first jumped into this, I got to just over 4,000 points, but that was because I wasn't used to the car or the track. I didn't know the track at all. So basically I was just diving into the corners, braking, especially the sharp corners. I didn't realise how sharp they were, and I was just running extremely wide, and especially after the checkpoint during the lap, I was running so wide there that I was losing so much time. It was crazy. So obviously this is my second attempt, as I've said. It's obviously going to be a better attempt. So as you can see now we're on 3,400 points. 2 seconds to that checkpoint, and it does start going down, which I quite like, because it means you've got to start pushing yourself to really find the extra time. Now during this run, I reckon I could actually get an extra lap out of this if it was a perfect run. As I mentioned, I keep pushing the first corner a bit more, a bit more, a bit more. So you could keep revisiting this to really try and push yourself, but I'm only going to do one video on each of the career events, just for the fact then I can give some tips and advice on each one in case you're struggling, and that's just to really push yourselves as well. So we had about 1.4 seconds left there. We're up to 4,000 points. So we're up to where I was on around my first attempt. So now it's all about trying to push it, and you can see there I really tried to push that first corner, and I didn't lose too much time because it's quite open. I could keep a bit of momentum and I could just brake a bit later, but once again these sharp corners you've just got to stay really tight. Just drop all your speed, get around the corner as fast as you can, loosen up the steering as soon as you can see the exit, and just go for it then. Once again, now this is what I've done there. That's wrong. That's where it might cost me a lap. I've just gone in too hard. I'm trying to push it now. I've gone wide. I'm having to drop all my speed completely just to get around the corner. So that's where I did lose some time there. So we're coming up to the last corner of this small track again. It's Vallelunga, or however you say that. My pronunciation is probably just completely wrong there. But we come on, there you can see the sign there if you're unsure with my pronunciation. And we're coming up to the checkpoint. Do we make it this time? We do, with 0.4 there, and the checkpoint's knocked a tenth off as well. So 4,455 at the moment. Now we've really got to push to make it to the next part. So you can see I was a bit tied to there. I think the tighter line is the faster line, but you can still try and push yourself to go out and you don't lose too much time. It's these corners, if you push too hard you will lose all your time. So you know, you can play about with that as you will. That's why I was more sort of testing the first corner really, because you don't lose as much and you can try and push it. Once again we lose another tenth there, and we're on 4,566 points, and now it's a real push to try and get to the checkpoint at the end of this lap. You can see there I'm just trying to like play with the lines. I'm just off the racing line as it's shown there, just because of that traction control, you know. I'm just trying to figure it out. And then we come to the last corner. Now this, just a spoiler alert, because in 9 seconds you'll find out anyway, this is the last lap, but I think you can get one more out of there without the mistakes. I think you can get one more. I'm not sure if you can hit 5,000 points, I don't know, I'd have to test that, but 2 tenths off there. So that's the amount of points I finished with, 4,566. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next career video.